I don't know about you, but sometimes when I'm driving to work, I think, wow, I'm so good at this, I could be a professional race car driver. I reckon with just one lesson a week, I could be a champion.
Okay.
Obviously, I don't think that, but that's pretty much the plot of this ridiculous Lifetime movie, also known as Wheels of Beauty. This is 2021's Driven to Kill. I'm Jay Harangue and I've wasted hours of my life watching terrible films.
You should subscribe.
This is Brittany and she's the main character.
Hi.
She's decided that now her dad's dead and she once sat on his lap in a car, that she's destined to be a professional race car driver.
What?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
So she goes down to her local racetrack to see former champion and coach Andrew James.
I'll be your instructor.
Andrew's had to stop racing because of a serious crash.
That was a bad day.
Right, let's see what she's got. She looks ridiculous in this car, as if she needs a booster seat. Clearly she's rubbish, but Andrew won't be mentioning that. Although we don't see Andrew knocking one out in the passenger seat, it's certainly implied. But what does he think of her driving?
You're natural.
You really mean that?
Wouldn't have said it if I didn't.
Yeah. Right.
Brittany currently works with her boyfriend Kevin at his mum's bed and breakfast. Kevin and Brittany are engaged, and Kevin sees some rings he thinks Brittany might like.
They make them in the lab so they're all conflict-free.
Oh, fuck off. Kevin's mum wants to retire soon, and she's counting on Kevin and Brittany to run the bed and breakfast when she's gone.
We get it.
After Brittany's next racing lesson, Andrew asks her if she wants to go to a classic car show. But she's like, sorry, I'm engaged.
So there's a fiancé.
Yes.
Never mind, it's more fun with keepers. Andrew's like, let's get a selfie together so I can wank over it later. And Brittany's like, yeah, okay. So that's happening. Oh shit, he's fired one off in his eye.
Oops.
Then Andrew remembers how after his accident, the doctor told him his head injury would cause obsessive behavior and hallucinations. The next day, Brittany's working on her car when Kevin turns up.
Brought you your favorite.
Steak and eggs?
Mushroom asparagus quiche.
Oh, fuck off, Kevin. He's like, look, Brittany, I don't want you racing cars anymore. You need to focus on the bed and breakfast. And for some reason, she still wants to marry him.
What an idiot.
At her next racing lesson, Andrew's really impressed by how much she's improved and can't wait to tell her. He's like, right, we need to do some extra practice. And she's like, no, I can't. I have to work at the bed and breakfast.
Do you want to do this professionally?
Of course.
No. No, you don't.
I don't understand.
One day a week? And you want to go pro?
Yeah, it doesn't make much sense, does it?
No.
She's like, it's Kevin. He doesn't think I'll ever be a professional race car driver. But Andrew doesn't care what her current soon-to-be ex-boyfriend thinks.
Well, why don't you bring him to the next class? Show him how it's done.
That's a good plan. Get her to see them both together. Andrew, a tall, dark and handsome former champion with bags of charisma. And Kevin, a manlet who works at his mum's bed and breakfast and talks about conflict-free diamonds.
May the best man win.
I'm gonna text him right now. Isn't he handsome?
Not really.
Anyway, here he is at Brittany's next lesson. He asks Andrew if Brittany's any good. Andrew's like, yeah, she's a natural.
And she really knows how to handle those curves, too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think he knows. Andrew's like, why don't you come out with me? I'll show you how safe it is. But Kevin absolutely hates it. And in the car park, he tells Brittany that this isn't safe. She's like, yes, it is. If you wanted a girly girl, you could have stayed with your ex, Shelly Montana. And yes, that's how I pronounce it. Anyway, Andrew hears all of this, Googles Shelly Montana, finds her address, goes around her house, breaks into her car, hotwires it, and parks it on Kevin's driveway. Kevin calls Shelly and he's like, hi, Shelly, why is your car parked in my driveway? So Shelly turns up in an Uber to collect it, dressed like a prostitute.
Why would my car be here?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Oh, and right on cue, here comes Brittany. She's like, Kevin, did you have sex with Shelly last night? And he's like, no. But she's like, well, that's what it looks like.
Yep.
Then Kevin tries to explain how someone must have stolen Shelly's car and driven it to his house.
Why would they do that?
That's what we're trying to figure out.
She's like, right, clearly this is absolute bollocks. I never want to see you again, and leaves. So she goes to hang out with Andrew. He's like, where's Kevin?
Kevin and I are going through a rough patch.
After that, in the car park, this woman shows up, also dressed like a prostitute, to try to poach Brittany for another driver, Mario Bergolini.
The Mario Bargelini?
5-time Grand Prix winner.
Andrew comes out and he's like, stop trying to poach my students. If this seems somewhat familiar, the chances are you watched my video last week on Deadly Mile High Club. This is essentially the same film. They've just replaced flying lessons with driving lessons.
You're probably right about that.
Brittany goes to see Mario and agrees to join his driving school. When Andrew calls her and asks her to go to the cinema with him later, she's like, oh, I can't. I've got training with Mario. He's like, what? And she's like, I need to go pro and Mario's the best. So he goes to Mario's garage, breaks in and messes with the wiring in his car. The next day, Andrew turns up to watch Brittany's first lesson. Mario's like, okay, first you can come in the car with me. Andrew's like, no, she can't. But she's like, yes, I can. So that's happening. And oh no, they crash.
Oh no!
Andrew pulls Brittany out of the car just before it blows up, but Mario's dead.
He didn't make it.
Kevin takes Brittany home. Apparently that Shelley stuff's been forgotten about now. Brittany's like, I should be able to get back out on the track soon.
Wait, you're still gonna keep racing?
Oh, be careful. I promise.
Oh, look, here comes Andrew with flowers.
Here, let me help you in.
Yeah, she doesn't need your help.
Ooh. Kevin's like, Brittany won't be racing with you anymore. And he's like, we'll see about that. Brittany was born to drive.
And I get lost.
Don't tell me what to do.
Ooh. Brittany needs some rest, so tells them both to leave.
This isn't over.
You're damn right it isn't.
Ooh! An unspecified time later at the bed and breakfast, Kevin's mum's like, right, I'm retiring. Are you two taking over the bed and breakfast or not? Even though Kevin's mum has been running it as a single woman, she's insisting it needs to be taken over by a married couple. So if Brittany's not in, Kevin doesn't get it. Looks like Brittany's got a big decision to make.
I have to stop racing.
Come on, be serious. Because of your fiance?
His mother.
So Andrew goes to the bed and breakfast that night and runs her over. To make it look like a gang attack, he spray paints 55th Street Posse next to her dead body. Later that night, Kevin gets a call from the coroner, who tells him that his mum's been killed by a street gang.
Is this how you guys tell people that they're...
Apparently so, yes. A call from the coroner. After the funeral, Kevin and Brittany go to the bed and breakfast.
So weird she's not here right now.
Is it? She's fucking dead. Anyway, Kevin's like, right, back to work. We have guests arriving.
Babe, your mom just died.
He's like, I don't care. The guests are arriving. And she's like, okay, Kevin, you crack on with this. I'm going to race cars with Andrew. And she does so well, he tells her he's going to enter her into the Speed Demon Nationals.
Wow, that's big.
She calls Kevin to tell him the good news, but he's not interested in this.
I'm at work. I got a line of people out the door and both Chris and Terry called in sick.
And she's like, I don't care, Kevin. I'm not working at your dead mum's bed and breakfast anymore. Kevin's pissed off, but he needs to put on a brave face for the guests. Later, Andrew tells Brittany that she'll be allowed to enter the Speed Demon Nationals if she beats this other driver, and then they kiss. But immediately, Brittany's like, no, I can't.
Why?
I'm just not ready yet.
No, it's too weird. I'm not ready.
Well, get ready. Anyway, Brittany loses the race and Andrew is livid. Meanwhile, Shelley, aka prostitute number 1, shows up at Kevin's house and shows him some report she got from the mechanic, saying that the person who stole her car must have been some sort of car expert. So he's like, right, it must have been Andrew. Back at the track, Andrew tells Brittany that she has one more chance to qualify in a time trial. But this time...
You can't afford to lose your focus!
Okay, you don't need to get all up in my grill about it.
I'm in love with you.
Uh-oh.
He's shown his hand far too early and Brittany's like, sorry, but I'm still in love with Kevin.
What?
Speaking of Kevin, he's left a message on Brittany's phone, which Andrew has, because when Brittany went for a shit, she didn't take it with her, saying he knows it was Andrew who stole Shelley the prostitute's car and parked it on his driveway. So Andrew replies with a message saying, don't tell anyone, meet me at your house in an hour. When Brittany comes back from her dump, she's like, am I still okay to do the qualifying run? And Andrew's like, yeah, see you tomorrow. Then he goes round to Kevin's house and knocks him out.
Good.
No, he doesn't just kill Kevin there and then. His plan is to put him in the boot of Brittany's car. Said car will be fitted with a bomb that will only be detonated when the car hits 200 miles an hour. This makes absolutely no sense, but whatever, that's what's happening. Just before the race, he tells Brittany that the judges will enter her into the race if at any point during this time trial, she reaches 200 miles per hour. This is the worst plan ever. This is shit. Anyway, so off she goes, oblivious to the fact that Kevin is knocked out and in the boot. And this scene goes on and on and on. But then Kevin wakes up and starts banging away in the back. Brittany's like, Andrew, I can hear a noise and it doesn't sound good. But Andrew's like, just keep driving and get to 200 miles an hour now. Brittany's like, fuck this, and pulls over. Kevin has managed to free himself from his easy off lifetime restraints and shouts out,
Brittany!
Kevin?
Andrew is trying to kill us!
but Kevin is using a key to escape the boot of the car. Sit down, Kevin. But then Brittany comes up behind Andrew and knocks him out. Kevin gets up and calls the police. But when they arrive, Andrew jumps into the car and starts driving. The embarrassment of losing out to Kevin is just too much, so he gets up to 200 miles an hour. At an unspecified time later, we see Brittany and Kevin getting married at Mario's house. Oh, and look who's marrying them. Prostitute number 2. Apparently, she's licensed to do that. Anyway, that's the end of the film.
What a pile of shit.
So until next time, thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe. And please consider joining my Patreon. There's a link in the description. Thank you.